Dusty here with Priority Inspection Services. We're out here on an inspection today in San Antonio, and today we're going to be going over foundations of the home. This will help the homeowners or the buyers identify any concerns that can arise with the home, and we have an expert out here today to show us a few things that we can look for.
What's up, everybody? I'm Kip with Risen Foundation Solutions. Dusty, thanks so much for having us out here, brother.
Yes,
appreciate it. I look forward to educating you just a little bit on things that you can look for as you're walking through your next property.
All right, so after seeing this slope, we have some deflection going on in this home, so that's why we called Kip out here. So let's take a look at some of the tools he uses to identify the foundation concerns we're having.
Well, hey guys, this is a zip level, and this actually uses a proprietary fluid that's pressurized, which can give us an elevation variance from one point in the home to another point, all the way to 1/10 of an inch. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna see the major areas that we noticed while we're walking from point A to point B, the slope underneath our foot. Well, hey everybody, I wanted to make sure that as you're walking through the home, just because you see a crack somewhere doesn't mean you have foundation issues. So I want to show you where drywall tape has actually come separate from this corner seam here. It could be an issue of foundation, but not always. It could just be that the float tape was not installed properly or it's worn over time. However, as we pan around, we can see a very strong indicator of a foundation issue where a crack goes the distance of the entire room right down the center. That's showing actual frame stress caused by the foundation movement. And again, Dusty is showing us in the corner, this slanted crack is a very strong indicator of movement of the framing of the home due to foundation settlement. One of the things you always want to do is make sure that you shut all doors. Notice how this door stuck a little bit. When you're opening and closing doors, it should close freely, and make sure that it clicks all the way, because if the latch doesn't close, that means that you've got either a framing issue or a foundation issue that's caused shifting around your doorways and sometimes around your windows where we saw that crack.
All right, so as a homeowner, you're probably going to see a lot of cracks like in your sidewalks, driveways, some slopes going on. So Kip, do you have any advice on this situation right here?
Yeah, Dusty, it's a good question. You know, when they pour sidewalks such as this, even using this pebble material, we don't know who the contractor is that did it. As a matter of fact, it could have even been the homeowner. So just because you see cracking doesn't necessarily mean that you've got sloping or that you've got a volatile soil.
Hey Kip, I saw a crack on the foundation wall over here. Let's go take a look at that and see what you think.
Awesome. You know what I like to do is take a look at everything as we're walking around. Make sure your eye goes up and down the entire way. For instance, we see some cracking over here, Dusty. Just because we see cracking like this doesn't necessarily mean it's a foundation issue. Concrete was designed that it's going to crack. It's the severity of the crack as it relates to the measurements that we take inside that's important. But take a look at this and then show me that other crack that you wanted to show me.
It's over here. Looks like they did some previous repairs on the wall and on the foundation side. So what's your advice, or what do you think about this situation right here?
Sure. So it could be one of two things. As we were walking around the sidewalk, we didn't necessarily see any squares cut out on the sidewalk where that is material that's been previously excavated to do foundation repair. So I don't think that this home has experienced foundation repair in the past.
Okay.
What I think happened is somebody, either the homeowner or a contractor or handyman, just actually came in here and filled this in with mortar or some type of caulking. In this case, it looks like it's just some sort of caulking, commercial grade caulking, but it didn't solve the problem. It's just, as they say, putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah. All right, so while we're doing an inspection, we did notice a repair done on the window. However, when you're looking at the repair, the gap is really small here, and then it goes up as we're going up the window. Hey Kip, what's your idea on this situation?
Yeah, so again, we are facing a scenario where the brick and the structure itself has actually caused some separation due to the settlement to the foundation. And so what they did is they just filled it with this commercial grade caulking again. However, if you look across to the other side here, the slab is moving in a different way because that gap isn't as big, but you can already start to see some seam separation here.
Appreciate it, man, coming out here and taking a look at this foundation.
Thanks,
for
Dusty.
us. You know, like I said at the beginning, Kip with Risen Foundation Solutions, not only they're a repair company, but they're a solutions company as well. They'll look at the foundation and see if there's even anything wrong with the foundation. Just to follow up, what are the things to look for on the home again?
Yeah, as you're entering the home, from the second you set foot on the property, start observing everything. Make sure you look up, make sure you look down for everything. As you enter the home, does the door stick when you're pulling it open? Right? Does it close properly when you're shutting it behind yourself? Make sure you open windows, close them, doors, interior and exterior. When you're seeing any cracking on the inside of the home, is it slanted upwards? Does it seem like the framing is stressed in any way? You're gonna see those cracks that are slanted, especially around your door frames and in the corners of the home. And as you get outside, again, just because you see some tiny fractures in the concrete doesn't mean you have foundation issues. It's when you see significant cracking, when you see step cracking in the bricks, right? Or you see some seam separation in your siding, that's when you should be concerned. And again, our goal is to give you great news, not to say you got a problem when you don't. Because our best interest is your best interest.